We're closer than ever to declaring our independence from a deadly virus. Don't get me wrong. COVID-19 has not been vanquished. We all know powerful variants have emerged, like the Delta variant.
President Biden's 4th of July speech clouded by concerns that states will propose new restrictions due to that Delta variant. This as the nation's top COVID doctor gives some mixed messaging over vaccinated Americans and masks.
Here to weigh in is Iowa Congresswoman and Dr. Mariannette Miller-Meeks. Mariannette, thanks for being with us this morning.
My pleasure. Thank you.
No problem. I want to get to this first. It's a soundbite of Dr. Fauci talking about people who are vaccinated and wearing a mask. Listen to this.
In an environment in which you have a high level of viral dynamics and a very low level of vaccine, you might want to go the extra mile to be cautious enough to make sure that I get the extra added level of protection.
All right. In your expert opinion, how do you think people who got vaccinated are going to react to this kind of message?
Well, I think there are some people who are overly cautious and will wear a mask. But I think that's one of the things that actually slowed down vaccinations was the mixed messaging about masking. We heard Dr. Fauci say earlier this year that even after everybody's vaccinated, we'll still be wearing masks until 2022. And I think that's the kind of messaging that was confusing, and it led people to say, well, if I'm going to still wear a mask until 2022 and I can't get back to normal, then why get back vaccinated? So the reality is, if you're vaccinated, you should be able to have some level of comfort and safety. The vaccines are 95% effective, so we know that they're highly effective. We also know that if you were to contract COVID-19 and you were vaccinated, your disease course and your symptoms would be much less than if you were to contract COVID-19 without having been vaccinated. So I think for me, I'm not going to wear a mask. I am fully vaccinated. I've been giving vaccines. I encourage people to get vaccinated. And so I think it's an abundance of caution. Some people will, but most people are not going to wear a mask if they're vaccinated.
Yeah, and then after Dr. Fauci said that you need to wear a mask, he came out and said, okay, if you are fully vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask. And now yesterday saying that even if you're vaccinated, you may need to wear a mask if you're going to a low vaccination area. So it's a flip and a flop and then a flip again. What about the Delta variant? There is some concern this morning that states will propose some new restrictions because of this Delta variant. As a doctor and a lawmaker, do you think that that's necessary?
I think what's necessary is that if you're in a high-risk group and you're unvaccinated, you certainly should isolate yourself, remove yourself from large groups and large crowds of people, especially if those individuals are also unvaccinated. The most important thing is that if you're vaccinated, you're protected. And I think that's why there's mixed messaging about the mask, and that's why it's confusing. So if you're vaccinated, you should be able to go without your mask. If you're overly cautious, or if you're overly cautious and you have risk factors, then you may want to wear a mask, but it should not be necessary to wear a mask. And I think that states, or cities, rather than going back into lockdowns, if there's a low vaccination rate, that should be another impetus to get vaccinated in that area if you're unvaccinated. And I think that's the issue. I would continue to encourage people to get vaccinated. The vaccines are safe. They're effective. President Trump did a great job in getting these vaccines to us and to the public in record time. So if you're unvaccinated, really reconsider getting vaccinated now that we know that there's a new variant that's circulating.
All right. Representative Mariannette Miller-Meeks, we appreciate your take on this today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and happy rest of your 4th of July weekend.
Absolutely. You
too.
too. Thanks for waking up early for us as well.